Good morning. It is 11:41 a.m. on Tuesday, March 12th, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I've been up for a little while. I've showered and everything, and this is 5 more minutes. So my thinking yesterday was that last night was going to be the first night where I try to go to bed early and then try to shift my schedule back towards normal Eastern time business hours, and nope, didn't happen there. But I also, as I got up, kind of felt like I needed to go ahead and finish getting ready before doing anything else today, and so I did. Part of that is because here in my apartment building, they are installing new door locks, and so in theory, they might be knocking on my door at any moment. And so I figured I would rather be ready sooner. But so today I want to talk a little bit about Sunset Overdrive, which is a video game. It is a video game done by Insomniac, who is a developer that has made a lot of games that I really enjoy, in particular the Infamous games, the Sly Cooper games, and most recently the Spider-Man PS4 game, and I've enjoyed all of those games. But Sunset Overdrive was one that was Xbox exclusive for the Xbox One, and so I don't have an Xbox One, so I just never played that one. But I recently discovered that it was now available on Steam as of November last year, and so I decided to play it a little bit. And so I actually streamed it a little on Twitch last night, and it's interesting because generally I'm very talky when I'm playing video games for Twitch, but that game requires a lot of attention because all of the traversal around the city in that open world game is very dependent on like bouncing on cars and grinding along wires and stuff like that, which is actually a lot of fun. And the game really incentivizes you to mix up your traversal techniques by making the enemies, which are zombie-like, very prone to swarming, and so staying on the move is very important, and everything is focused around trying to keep you moving. But it required a lot of my attention, and I wasn't as able to talk as much. It's a very interesting game. It premises the whole idea that just because it's the end of the world doesn't mean you have to be all bummed about it. And it's the awesome apocalypse, and it's all very silly. And so I kind of like it. But one of the things that I thought about also in conjunction with playing that some yesterday was my to-do lists. And I talked a little bit last week about setting to-do lists with short-term, medium-term, and longer-term goals, and how as a new practice that I am going to continue, anytime you change up your behaviors, you're going to have some side effects, I guess. Well, so one was that like near the end of last week, I briefly had a, it was not really even what I would call an anxiety attack, but I felt some anxiety. And what it was coming from, I think ultimately, was I was starting to use these lists to keep my brain focused on things that I want to do, and that started feeling like more pressure being put on myself. And so there was a little bit of just dealing with that shift in energy, which is balanced against so part of the idea of a to-do list is to balance that feeling of pressure put on yourselves to do things versus a more generalized chaotic feeling of knowing you need to do things but not having them like defined for you, and having a list that says these are the things that you should do, and having it more just a general feeling of I should be doing things but I'm not doing anything. But even still, the reason I mention the video game in this context is that my list that I made last Tuesday with the number of things that I said I wanted to try to do by today was pretty ambitious. And I did not do all of those things. And I spent, for example, some time playing video games yesterday that was not spent doing one of the things that was on the list that I could have done. And so I did do things that were not on the list, leaving things that were on the list undone. But I can't beat myself up about that sort of thing too much because, again, first of all, I deserve to have fun sometimes, right? I don't have to make everything work 100% because that can lead to burnout. But it's a matter of gradually, over time, changing behavior. And so the fact that I didn't get everything done on the list, the fact that I felt some anxiety about putting so many things on the list are not reasons not to do the list, right? They are the path of, they are the resistance being put up by my brain as I attempt to change behavior. So it is the markers on the road indicating movement in a direction, hopefully a good one. So I'll go ahead and leave it there for today, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.